Border Patrol. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Two highly trained, highly capable federal law enforcement agencies of the United States. What sets them apart? What do they have in common? What can they do? Let's take a dive into what you need to know about Border Patrol and ICE. We'll start off the video with a brief introduction on both of these entities. Let's kick it off with Border Patrol. Border Patrol falls under the Department of Homeland Security. To be more specific, it actually falls under Customs and Border Protection, which is the largest agency of the DHS. The difference between Border Patrol and CBP is that CBP is tasked with border enforcement and ports of entry, whereas Border Patrol is responsible for patrolling the areas at and around international land borders. This is the badge of a Border Patrol agent. Its primary mission is to detect and prevent the illegal entry of individuals into the United States. With how much there is to Border Patrol, you'll see in a bit just what resources and capabilities they have to get the job done. Okay, now on to ICE. ICE also falls under the Department of Homeland Security. While Border Patrol was formed almost a century ago, ICE was recently formed in 2003 in response to 9/11. ICE isn't just made up of a bunch of people who retrieve undocumented individuals and return them to their home countries. There's much more to it. It's divided into two main components, HSI and ERO. We'll get more into that later. These are the badges of ICE. Its primary mission is to combat cross-border criminal activity, which is a critical component of the overall safety, security, and well-being of the United States. Alright, you just got a taste of what both of these agencies are. Let's dig a little deeper and go over their capabilities, missions, and opportunities. Alright, so you just learned that both Border Patrol and ICE protect the United States from illegal activity around and beyond the borders. To lay it out a little more simply, the main difference between ICE and Border Patrol is that while Border Patrol is responsible for enforcing immigration laws at and near the borders, ICE is responsible for enforcing immigration laws within the remaining areas of the US. Make sense? So essentially, if an individual who isn't supposed to enter the country approaches the border or a port of entry, it is up to Border Patrol to ensure that they do not enter the US. Border Patrol makes sure that intruders stay out of the country. But what about keeping intruders out of your personal data? That's where NordVPN comes in. They make sure that individuals who are not supposed to get into your personal data stay out. With NordVPN, all of your internet data stays safe behind a wall of next-generation encryption. NordVPN can also change your IP address to anywhere in the world, with the ability to connect up to a total of 6 devices at the same time. Want to watch a show on Netflix that isn't available in your country? NordVPN's got you covered. Want to communicate securely with others while protecting your anonymity? NordVPN has that covered too. We have collaborated with NordVPN, today's sponsor, to provide you all with the opportunity to receive a massive discount. 73% off a 2-year plan. Nuts, we know, with an extra 4 months completely free. All you have to do is visit nordvpn.com/General Discharge. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's nordvpn.com/General Discharge. So yeah, Border Patrol and security. If an individual winds up getting past the border and into the country, ICE is then responsible for the retrieval and return of them. Both of these agencies' missions overlap, and they often work in tandem with each other to keep the US safe and secure. So what does Border Patrol have under its belt to assist it in executing its missions? The Border Patrol utilizes a variety of equipment and methods, such as electronic sensors, video monitors and night vision scopes, various vehicles, boats, aircraft, horses, motorcycles, bicycles, snowmobiles, and UAVs. These are all used to detect illegal entries and/or to patrol the border. Some of the other major activities of Border Patrol include maintaining traffic checkpoints along highways leading from border areas, conducting city patrol and transportation checks, and anti-smuggling investigations. Even further, they do line watch, sign cutting, and marine patrol operations. Line watch operations are performed near international boundaries and coastlines to prevent the illegal entry and smuggling of individuals into the U.S. Sign cutting is the detection and interpretation of any disturbances in natural terrain conditions that indicate the presence or passage of people, animals, or vehicles. As far as their marine patrol goes, the Border Patrol conducts border control activities from the decks of marine craft of various sizes. It maintains over 109 vessels, ranging from blue water craft to inflatable hull craft. Border Patrol also uses canines. While the primary goal of its canine program is terrorist detection and apprehension, their canines are trained to detect concealed U.S. currency, firearms, drugs, and are also used in search and rescue, tracking trailing operations, and finding human remains. With more than 1,500 canine teams, the CBP Canine Program is the largest and most diverse law enforcement canine program in the country. So what about ICE? ICE is dedicated to detecting and dismantling transnational criminal networks that target the American people and threaten U.S. industries, organizations, and financial systems. How does it do all of that? With HSI and ERO. HSI stands for Homeland Security Investigations, and ERO stands for Enforcement Removal Operations. When most people think of ICE, they think of what the ERO does. While that's very important, there's a lot more to ICE than that. HSI is the principal investigative component of the DHS. It is responsible for investigating, disrupting, and dismantling transnational criminal organizations and terrorist networks that exploit the customs and immigration laws of the US. The HSI has more than 250 offices across the US, as well as over 80 offices around the world. These are the crimes HSI deals with and investigates. Pause the screen to take a longer look. To cover the ERO real quick, they are the ones who are arresting and deporting undocumented individuals. The ERO upholds U.S. immigration law at, within, and beyond the United States borders, and manages all aspects of the immigration enforcement process, including identification and arrest, domestic transportation, detention, bond management, and supervised release, including alternatives to detention. It removes undocumented individuals that are ordered to be removed from the US to more than 170 countries around the world. They also get international fugitives. ERO deportation officers assigned to Interpol, which is the International Police Organization, assist in fugitive arrest and removal cases for those wanted for crimes committed abroad who are now at large in the US. Okay, so we just went over with you a brief overview of some of the capabilities and resources that Border Patrol and ICE have. Guess what? There's more. Did you know they both have special operations assets? Let's get into them. Border Patrol has BORTAC and BORSTAR, and ICE has its special reaction teams. Let's go over these one by one. BORTAC stands for Border Patrol Tactical Group. Headquartered in El Paso, Texas, the mission of BORTAC is to respond to terrorist threats of all types anywhere in the world in order to protect the United States homeland. BORTAC has a cadre of full-time and part-time members scattered throughout the United States. The teams can be called upon to deploy immediately when needed. They provide an immediate response capability to emergent and high-risk incidents requiring specialized skills and tactics, and is unique in that it conducts training and operations both in the United States and in other countries in furtherance of the U.S. Border Patrol's mission. They have conducted training and operations with foreign and domestic law enforcement, as well as military entities throughout the country and the world. These are the capabilities of BORTAC. While that list may say a lot about them, that's only scratching the surface. Let's move on to BORSTAR. BORSTAR stands for Border Patrol Search, Trauma, and Rescue. Also headquartered in El Paso, Texas, BORSTAR is highly trained in emergency search and rescue. It was created in response to the growing number of injuries to Border Patrol agents and migrant deaths along U.S. borders. It mainly assists injured or stranded migrants who enter the United States illegally from Mexico at remote desert locations. BORSTAR provides specialized law enforcement, search and rescue response from conventional to high-risk Border Patrol operations, FEMA mission assignments, national search and rescue operations, national special security events, and specialized training support directed by the DHS for both domestic and foreign government agencies. It is the only national law enforcement search and rescue entity with the capability to conduct tactical medical, search and rescue training for federal, state, local, and international government agencies. Now let's go over HSI's SRT. HSI SRT operates as a federal SWAT element. Its main missions are to deal with HSI's high-risk arrest and search warrants, VIP protection, sniper coverage, security, barricaded subjects, and rural area operations. They've also helped out with natural disasters such as Hurricane Katrina and the Haiti earthquake. Because of their strong relationship with the United States Special Operations Command, they receive soft gear for their members too, enabling them to be even more effective. The SRT is a collateral duty for HSI special agents for those who are assigned to an office that has one. Alright, you've been given a comparison of the capabilities and missions of Border Patrol and ICE. Let's go over the structure of both of these agencies and go over where you can find yourself working if you join either of these. After that, we will go over the training pipelines and requirements for each of them. To recap what we said earlier, both of these agencies fall under the Department of Homeland Security. Under the DHS, there's Customs and Border Protection, which then further breaks down into the Border Patrol. Then there's ICE, which is broken down into HSI and the ERO. Let's quickly go over most of the locations you can find yourself working in if you join the Border Patrol or ICE. Let's start off with Border Patrol. The Border Patrol is divided into 20 different sectors spread throughout the borders of the United States. Here are where they're at. We're sure you're very surprised you'd be working near the border in the Border Patrol. Now onto ICE. The locations on screen are the HSI and ERO locations. As you can see, you have more of a variety of locations to work at if you join ICE as compared to the Border Patrol. Awesome. You now have an idea of the basic breakdown of both of these agencies in regards to the DHS, as well as where you can work. Now let's go over the training required to get into both of these agencies. Then we'll move on to the requirements, and then we'll wrap up the video. To get into both of these agencies, you need to attend FLETC, which stands for Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. While it may be called the same thing, the training they go through is most definitely different. Let's dive into the training to get into the Border Patrol first. Located in Artesia, New Mexico, the Border Patrol Academy is recognized as having one of the most challenging curriculums in federal law enforcement. Lasting around 6 months, each Border Patrol agent trainee receives training in U.S. law, Border Patrol operations, physical training, firearms instruction, emergency tactical driving, law enforcement and Border Patrol tactical training, and Spanish. Student assessments vary from online, knowledge-based, multiple-choice exams to diverse and rigorous performance-based integrated scenarios. In addition, they learn this. Pause the screen to take a longer look. Okay, let's move on to the training to get into ICE. The ICE Academy is held in Glencoe, Georgia. Depending on whether or not you're joining the HSI or ERO, your training length will vary from 4 to 6 months. The training curriculums will also differ slightly as well. Let's show you with our General Discharge approved Venn diagram. Both HSI and ERO candidates receive training in basic law enforcement tactics, immigration law, firearms training, emergency response driving, and constitutional law. HSI, on the other hand, gets training in U.S. Customs law, warrant service, advanced tactics, undercover operations, criminal interrogation, and weapons of mass destruction. ERO gets several weeks of Spanish language training, as well as hands-on training dealing with apprehending undocumented individuals. Okay, so now you know what training you'll be expected to complete if you decide to embark on either of these journeys. But do you even qualify to give it a shot? Let's see. Let's start off with the requirements to get into Border Patrol. These are the basic requirements to get in. Pause the screen to take a longer look. And now for the basic requirements to get into ICE. The basic requirements to join ICE are these. Pause the screen to take a longer look. Alright, now you know the basic requirements for both Border Patrol and ICE. But don't go just yet. We're about to wrap up the video and leave you with some valuable resources to go check out about both of these communities, as we can't cover everything in detail in just this video. In this video, you learned that Border Patrol and ICE are very similar, but very different. Both fall under the DHS and protect the United States, with Border Patrol having an emphasis on areas near the border, and ICE focusing more on the areas both around and past the border. Both of these agencies are highly trained, capable, with elite special operations units, and both work in tandem to prevent crime and enforce the law. At the end of the day, they are both valuable assets to United States security. With that said, if you've made it this far, which do you prefer, Border Patrol or ICE? Out of the two, which one would you want to join? Let us know in the comments section below. As far as videos go, if you like the versus video format, we've done other videos like this. The thumbnails on screen are the versus videos we've done thus far. The playlist to these will be in the description below. And if you're into learning more about other civilian and law enforcement entities, we've done plenty of videos on them. On screen are all the videos we've done thus far. There will be a playlist in the description for them. Well, that is the down and dirty of the United States Border Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement. If you learned something from this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. As always, thank you for watching. Do you even want to be here? A big shout out to all of our YouTube members and our patrons over at our Patreon. Thank you all so much for taking the extra step in supporting our channel. It is much appreciated. If you'd like to be featured on a General Discharge video, consider joining our membership with the link in the description or the join button to the left of the subscribe button, or go give our Patreon a look and join the team. Here's Nick Nausea.
All your friends are subscribing to General Discharge, and you don't even want to be here.